The sleek silver ship called Asterisk, Stellar Harmony Asterisk, slowed as it entered the solar system. Inside, beings from 27 different worlds watched their screens with excitement. They had found something new, strange radio signals coming from the third planet around a yellow star. Ambassador Zhilith floated near the main viewport. His transparent body pulsed with blue light as he spoke to the crew. The Zhilith was from the Voraxian species, who looked like giant jellyfish and were known for their wisdom. "We must approach with care," Zhilith said, his voice a musical hum. "This is an uncharted system." The science officer, Melira, a small green being with 6 arms, checked her instruments. "The signals are definitely artificial. There's intelligent life down there." The crew members buzzed with excitement. Finding a new intelligent species was rare. The Galactic Coalition had not discovered a new spacefaring race in over 200 years. As they moved closer to the blue planet, the sensors began to beep loudly. "That can't be right," Melira said, tapping the screen with 3 of her hands. "The gravity readings are extreme. And these radiation levels, they're in the lethal range." Zhilith drifted closer. "Are you certain?" "The atmosphere contains corrosive oxygen at deadly concentrations," Melira continued, "and the temperature variations are enormous. One half of the planet freezes while the other half bakes." The pilot, Creel, a tall insect-like being, chittered nervously. Nothing could live in such conditions. But as they entered orbit and their sensors scanned the surface, the crew fell silent in shock. The planet teemed with life. Millions of species living in every environment, from deep oceans to burning deserts. And there were cities, huge structures of metal and stone spreading across continents, vehicles moving on roads and ships crossing the vast oceans. "Impossible," whispered Melira. "How can any species survive on a death world like this?" They watched in amazement as their cameras zoomed in on beaches where small figures walked without protection under the deadly radiation of the sun. The figures swam in the caustic water and breathed the oxygen-rich air that would kill most coalition species in minutes. "We must make contact," Zhilith decided. Carefully, the Asterisk Stellar Harmony Asterisk landed in a remote area near an ocean. The crew put on their heaviest protection suits to step outside. The gravity pulled painfully at their bodies. The air, even filtered, burned their breathing organs. The heat made them dizzy. They moved slowly toward the shoreline where their sensors had detected one of the planet's inhabitants working alone. Dr. Olivia Pearson was having a normal day collecting samples from the coral reef. She didn't notice the visitors until a shadow fell across her work. When she looked up, her mouth fell open in shock. 4 creatures stood before her in bulky suits with clear helmets. They looked nothing like humans. One floated like a jellyfish. Another had 6 arms. The third had compound eyes like an insect. The fourth was small and furry. Olivia dropped her sample tubes in the sand. "Oh my God," she whispered. The jellyfish-like being moved forward slowly and raised an appendage in what seemed like a greeting. "We come in peace," came a voice from a translator device. "I am Ambassador Zhilith of the Galactic Coalition." Olivia stared, then smiled nervously. "I'm Dr. Olivia Pearson, human, from Earth." The aliens seemed to confer among themselves, their translator devices creating a buzz of overlapping voices. "You live here?" one asked finally. "In these conditions, without protection?" Olivia looked confused. "What do you mean?" "The gravity, the radiation, the oxygen, the water." The 6-armed alien gestured at the ocean. "You swim in dihydrogen monoxide." "You mean water?" "Yes, of course." To demonstrate, Olivia scooped up some seawater and let it run through her fingers. The aliens backed away in horror. "Remarkable," Ambassador Zhilith said. "You are the first species we've encountered from a Class 12 death world." "A what?" Olivia asked. "Your planet," Zhilith explained, "is the most lethal life-bearing world we have ever discovered. And somehow you have not only survived here, but thrived. Olivia Pearson stood on the beach, salt water dripping from her hands, as she realized humanity's normal had just become the galaxy's extraordinary. News of the aliens spread quickly across Earth. Within days, the United Nations called an emergency meeting to select representatives for humanity. They needed people who could show the best of what humans could offer to the galaxy. After much debate, 4 people were chosen. Commander Jack Nelson was a retired Navy SEAL with combat experience, but also training in diplomacy. Dr. Samantha Wright was one of Earth's top scientists who studied alien life forms. Alan Martinez could speak 12 languages and was an expert in how different cultures communicated. Lissa Powell had spent her life learning about different human societies and how they worked together. The human team met the aliens at a special facility built in just 3 days. Ambassador Zilith floated forward to greet them. "We welcome you as the first humans to join us in the stars," he said through his translator. Jack stepped forward and bowed slightly. "We're honored to represent Earth." Samantha couldn't stop staring at the different alien forms. "Your biology is fascinating," she said. "I have so many questions." The insect-like alien named Creel clicked his mandibles. "We have more questions about you. Your ability to survive should not be possible." The asterisk Stellar Harmony asterisk had been modified for the humans. Special rooms were built with Earth-like conditions, but even with the changes, the ship wasn't quite right. The gravity felt too light. The air was thin. The temperature was cold. The aliens watched in wonder as the humans adapted anyway. On the 3rd day of the journey, Jack poured himself a cup of coffee in the dining area. The aliens backed away from the steaming liquid. "What is that substance?" asked Melira, the 6-armed scientist. "Our sensors detect toxins." Jack took a long sip and smiled. "It's coffee. Contains caffeine. Helps us stay alert." "You willingly consume poison." Melira's skin turned a pale yellow in shock. "It's not poison to us," Lisa explained. "Our bodies process it differently." Later that day, Alan ate a spicy burrito from the food supplies they had brought. The heat sensors in the room went off immediately. "Fire. You're eating fire." Creel's antennae waved wildly. Alan laughed. "It's just hot peppers. Many humans enjoy spicy food." That night, the aliens gathered outside the human quarters, watching through observation windows as the humans lay still on their beds. "Are they dying?" whispered a furry crew member named Plex. "They call it sleep," Ambassador Zicklith explained. "They enter this death-like state for approximately 1/3 of each day cycle." "How do they know they'll wake up?" Plex asked. "They don't," Zexlith said. "They simply trust they will. Their courage is remarkable." The journey continued, and each day brought new surprises. The humans could eat foods that would kill the aliens. They could lift objects that would break alien bones. They healed from cuts and bruises with amazing speed. On the 7th day, Jack showed the aliens what humans called exercise. He did push-ups, sit-ups, and ran in circles in the cargo bay. His heart rate increased to levels that would mean certain death for most alien species. "Why do you do this?" Ambassador Zicklith asked. "To stay strong," Jack said, barely breathing hard. "On Earth, we have to keep our bodies in good condition." The aliens whispered among themselves. There was a word spreading through the ship: Deathworlders. It was an ancient term for species that evolved on planets so dangerous that they developed frightening abilities just to survive. "We come in peace," Lisa assured them, noticing their fear. "Humans value cooperation. That is what makes you most remarkable," Ambassador Zilith replied. "You come from the harshest world we've ever seen, yet you speak of peace rather than conquest." As the asterisk Stellar Harmony asterisk continued its journey to the center of the galaxy, the aliens began to wonder, what would the rest of the coalition think about these incredible beings from a planet that should not support life? Would they be welcomed as friends or feared as monsters? The human representatives didn't know it yet, but their journey was just beginning. and the galaxy would never be the same. The asterisk Stellar Harmony asterisk traveled deeper into space, heading for Nexus Station, the heart of the Galactic Coalition. Jack often stood by the large viewing windows, watching the stars streak by. He had dreamed of space travel since he was a child, but never imagined it would happen like this. "How far is Nexus Station?" he asked Ambassador Silith, who floated beside him. "3 more days at our current speed," the jellyfish-like alien replied. "We must pass through an old battle site first." Samantha joined them at the window. A battle. Between who? 2 species that fought long ago. They destroyed each other completely. Only debris remains. The humans exchanged concerned looks. Even with their wars, humans had never wiped out their own kind entirely. The next day, alarms blared throughout the ship. The humans rushed to the bridge where the alien crew worked frantically at their stations. "What's happening?" Lisa asked. Creel's insect mandibles clicked rapidly. "We've entered the debris field. A large piece hit our oxygen recycling system." "Can we fix it?" Ellen asked. "The damage is outside the ship," Melira explained, her 6 arms moving across control panels. "We need to repair it, but none of us can survive in space for long enough." Jack stepped forward. "We can. Humans train for spacewalks." The aliens stared in disbelief. "The vacuum, the radiation, the cold." Melira's skin turned pale yellow again. "It would kill you." "Not with proper suits," Samantha said. "Show us the damage and we'll fix it." The alien crew helped Jack and Samantha put on spacesuits that were stored for emergencies. The suits were not designed for humans and felt strange, but they would work. "You have 2 hours of air," Creel explained. "After that, we'll be done in 1, Jack said confidently. The airlock opened, and the 2 humans floated out into space. They used small thrusters on their suits to move toward the damaged section. Through the ship's windows, the aliens watched in amazement. The humans worked in the deadly vacuum, as if they were simply swimming in a pool. Jack held tools in his gloved hands, while Samantha replaced broken parts. "Look at their coordination," Zuxlith said. "They move like they were born in space." "Their species has a saying," Lisa explained from the bridge. "We adapt or we die. It's how we've survived on Earth." In just under an hour, Jack and Samantha returned to the ship. When they removed their helmets, they were smiling. "Mission accomplished," Jack announced. "Your oxygen system should work now." The aliens celebrated the successful repair, but their relief was cut short when Plex, the furry crew member, collapsed to the floor. "What's wrong?" Ellen asked, rushing to help. "His blood filter has failed," Melira said, scanning Plex with a medical device. "He needs a transfusion, but we don't carry his blood type." Lisa stepped forward. "Can you use human blood? We're universal donors in emergencies." "Impossible," Melira said. "Your blood would kill him instantly." "Not if we filter out the parts that might harm him," Samantha suggested. "I've studied your medical systems. I think we can make it work." The aliens reluctantly agreed, having no other choice. Lisa donated blood, which Samantha and Melira carefully processed through alien technology. They injected the modified human blood into Plex. For tense minutes, nothing happened. Then Plex's fur regained its color, and he opened his eyes. "The human saved me?" he asked weakly. "Yes," Ambassador Zuxlith said. "Their blood is strong, like everything about them." That night, the aliens gathered in their sleeping quarters and spoke in hushed tones. "They can survive in space. Their blood can save other species. They don't fear death. They are Deathworlders, the strongest we've ever seen." Ambassador Zuxlith listened to their fears. "Yes, they are powerful, but they use their strength to help, not harm. Remember that." As the Stellar Harmony continued toward Nexus Station, the humans slept peacefully, unaware that their reputation was spreading ahead of them. News of the Deathworlders from Earth had already reached the Galactic Coalition, and not everyone was happy about their arrival. When the Stellar Harmony finally reached Nexus Station, the humans gasped at the sight. The space station was enormous, shaped like a giant wheel with spokes reaching to a central hub. Thousands of ships moved around it like bees around a hive. "It's beautiful," Samantha said. "Home to representatives from all 27 coalition species," Ambassador Ziflith explained. "And now, humans will be the 28th. But when they docked, armed guards met them. The guards wore heavy protective suits and carried weapons. "What's happening?" Jack asked. "A precaution," Ziflith said, sounding embarrassed. "News of your abilities has caused concern." The humans were escorted to a special area of the station. Signs in multiple languages marked the doors. "Quarantine zone." "We're being treated like we're dangerous," Lisa whispered. "To them, we are," Alan replied. "Remember how they reacted to coffee?" For 3 days, coalition scientists ran tests on the humans. They took blood samples, measured their strength, and tested their resistance to toxins. The humans answered endless questions about Earth. On the 4th day, a group of important-looking aliens entered the quarantine zone. They wore elaborate robes and had various body shapes, some with tentacles, others with multiple limbs, and a few that floated like Zexlith. "The High Council," Ambassador Zivlith explained. "They govern the coalition." A tall, tree-like alien stepped forward. "I am Counselor Grax," he said through a translator. "We have reviewed the scientific data about your species and your planet." Jack nodded respectfully. "And what have you decided?" "Earth is officially classified as a Class 12 death world, the highest category on our scale. No known sentient species has ever evolved in such conditions." Samantha leaned forward. "What makes Earth so deadly by your standards?" Another counselor, who looked like a giant salamander, answered. "The gravity is crushing. The radiation levels from your sun would kill most species. Your oxygen levels are toxic. Your temperature variations are extreme. Your oceans are corrosive. Your weather systems create storms that would destroy most habitats. Even your bacteria are aggressive. And yet you live there," Grax continued. "Not only survive, but thrive. This makes you concerning to many of our people." "We're not a threat," Lisa insisted. "Humans value peace." "Your history suggests otherwise," said a bird-like counselor. "Our research shows you have fought many wars among yourselves." "Yes," Jack admitted, "but we learn from our mistakes. We're better than we used to be." "Show them," Ambassador Ziclith suggested. Jack looked confused. "Show them what?" "Your strength. They need to understand what you are capable of." Jack hesitated, then walked to a table where scientific equipment sat. Among the items was a rod made of a shiny metal. "This material," Grax explained, "is called duranium. It is one of the strongest substances known to the Coalition." Jack picked up the rod. It was about as thick as his thumb and as long as his forearm. He gripped it firmly with both hands. "Are you sure?" he asked Zixlith. "They need to see," the ambassador confirmed. Jack took a deep breath and bent the rod. At first nothing happened, but then he gritted his teeth and applied more pressure. The metal began to bend. With a final push, Jack bent the rod into a U shape. The council members backed away. Some made sounds that might have been gasps. "Impossible," whispered Grax. "No sentient being can bend duranium without tools." Jack carefully set the bent rod back on the table. "We don't want to frighten you. We want to be friends, to learn from you, to share knowledge." The council members conferred among themselves in hushed tones. Finally, Grax spoke again. "The revelation of your physical capabilities has caused concern. Some members of the Coalition believe Deathworlders like you should be contained rather than welcomed." "That's not fair," Samantha protested. "You can't judge us because we're different." "Others," Grax continued, "see potential in an alliance with humans. Your abilities could be valuable." What happens now? Alan asked. The full council will vote tomorrow on Earth's status. Grax said. Until then, you will remain in quarantine. As the council members left, the humans exchanged worried looks. Their future in the galaxy would be decided by aliens who feared them simply for being human. While the humans waited for the council's decision, rumors spread through Nexus Station. Many aliens wanted to see the Deathworlders from Earth. Small crowds gathered outside the quarantine zone, peering through windows at the strange beings who could survive conditions that would kill them instantly. I feel like we're in a zoo, Lisa said, frowning at the curious faces. They're just afraid of what they don't understand, Samantha replied. A loud alarm suddenly blared throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the corridors. What's happening? Jack asked, jumping to his feet. The door to their quarters slid open, and Ambassador Zevlith rushed in. His transparent body pulsed with rapid colors of distress. We are under attack, he said. A group called the Purity Sphere has taken control of the central hub. They've captured most of the council members. Who are the Purity Sphere? Alan asked. Extremists who believe in genetic purity. They think some species are superior to others. Zevlith's colors darkened. They have been watching our research on humans. They see you as a threat to their vision of a perfect galaxy. What do they want? Jack demanded. Their leader just made an announcement. They plan to. Zevlith hesitated. They plan to sterilize Earth, to make it uninhabitable for humans. The humans stared in horror. They can do that, Samantha whispered. They have weapons capable of destroying a planet's ability to support life, Zevlith confirmed. We must get you to safety. Before they could move, a loud crash came from the corridor. Insect-like aliens in black armor burst into the room. They carried weapons that hummed with energy. Do not move, ordered their leader, a larger insect with red markings on his armor. I am High Commander Vrex of the Purity Sphere. The Deathworlders will come with us. What do you want with us? Jack asked, stepping in front of his friends. You are an evolutionary mistake, Vrex said coldly. Beings from a Class 12 Deathworld should not exist in our galaxy. Your kind is too dangerous, too unpredictable. We've done nothing to harm you, Lisa protested. It is what you could do that concerns us, Vrex replied. Our scientists have studied your biology. Your species could spread to other worlds, adapting and multiplying. You could compete with purer species for resources. More Purity Sphere soldiers entered the room. Two of them grabbed Ambassador Zevlith roughly. Leave him alone, Alan shouted. A commotion in the hall drew their attention. A small alien child had wandered into the corridor and was crying in fear as soldiers approached. Without thinking, Alan pushed past the guards and ran to the child. He scooped the small alien up just as a soldier fired his weapon. Alan turned his back to shield the child, taking the full impact of the energy blast. The humans gasped, expecting Alan to fall. But he remained standing, his shirt smoking, but his body unharmed. He survived a nerve disruptor. One soldier exclaimed, "Impossible." Alan carried the child to its parent, who waited fearfully nearby. The alien stared at him with a mixture of fear and wonder. High Commander Vrex clicked his mandibles angrily. This proves our point. They cannot be harmed by our standard weapons. They are too dangerous to exist. The soldiers surrounded the humans, using stronger restraints designed for the most dangerous creatures in the galaxy. Take them to the detention level, Vrex ordered. Tomorrow we launch our ships to Earth. We will cleanse the planet of all human life and make sure this evolutionary mistake ends now. As the humans were led away, Jack caught Ambassador Zevlith's eye. The ambassador pulsed a pattern that the translator didn't catch, but Jack understood the meaning. Don't give up hope. The humans were locked in separate cells with energy fields too strong for even their enhanced strength to break. But what the Purity Sphere didn't know was that surviving impossible situations was exactly what humans did best. Jack paced in his cell, testing the energy field that blocked the doorway. Each time he touched it, Painful shocks ran through his body. But he noticed something. The third shock hurt less than the first. His body was adapting, just as humans always did. In her cell, Samantha examined her food tray. The aliens had given her strange purple cubes to eat. She sniffed them carefully. Years of scientific training told her these weren't just food. They contained chemicals to keep prisoners weak. Samantha gathered the cubes and mixed them with water from her cup. She crushed them using the edge of her tray, making a thick paste. When she applied it to the wall, the substance began to bubble and eat through the metal. "Acid," she whispered with a smile. 2 cells down, Lisa sat quietly, watching the guards. Their insect-like bodies had one weakness: their joints connected by thin membranes, and their hands were too large to reach into certain spaces. Alan had been singing in his cell for hours. The guards found the sound irritating and had moved farther away. What they didn't know was that Alan had discovered his voice could hit frequencies that interfered with the station's systems. Slowly, the energy field flickered. That night, as most of the guards rested, the humans put their plan into action. Samantha used her makeshift acid to create a small hole in her wall, just large enough to reach the control panel outside. Lisa had shown her where to touch it, a spot the large-fingered aliens couldn't reach. The energy fields in all 4 cells shut down at once. "Move quickly," Jack whispered as they regrouped in the corridor. They needed to find Ambassador Hillith and the loyal coalition members. Alan led the way, having memorized the station layout during their tour. 2 guards spotted them and raised their weapons. Jack moved faster than the aliens thought possible, knocking the weapons aside. Lisa slipped behind them and pressed the sensitive joints in their exoskeletons. The guards collapsed, unable to move but still conscious. "Which way to the detention block for coalition prisoners?" Jack asked one guard. "Why should I tell you?" The guard clicked angrily. "Because," Samantha said, kneeling beside him, "we're going to stop the purity sphere from killing more people, including you, if you're not pure enough for them." The guard hesitated, then pointed down a corridor. They found Ambassador Hillith and 20 other coalition officials in a large cell. Jack bent the metal bars with his bare hands, amazing the prisoners. "The Deathworlders are freeing us," someone whispered. "We're all in danger," Hillith told the humans once free. "I discovered the purity sphere's true plan. They don't just want to sterilize Earth. They plan to use your planet as a testing ground for new weapons, bioweapons they will later use against other species they deem impure. We need to warn Earth," Jack said. "And stop Frex," added Alan. Hillith led them through service tunnels to a communication center. The room was guarded, but the humans easily overwhelmed the surprised soldiers. "How can you function without rest?" one defeated guard asked as Jack tied him up. "You've been awake for over 30 hours. Humans can stay awake for days when necessary," Jack explained. "Another adaptation from our death world." While Samantha worked on sending a message to Earth, Lisa noticed something on the monitors. "Look at these ships," she said, pointing to a screen showing the Purity Sphere fleet. "They're preparing to launch." "We don't have much time," Alan said. Just then, the door slid open. Everyone tensed, ready for more guards, but instead a group of different aliens entered cautiously. "We want to help," said the leader, a rock-like being with glowing eyes. "Not all of us support the purity sphere. Some of us believe humans could be valuable allies." "Why would you trust Deathworlders you've just met?" Jack asked suspiciously. The rock being made a grinding sound that might have been a laugh. "Because we've seen what you can do. You survived conditions that would kill us. You escaped cells designed to hold the galaxy's most dangerous creatures. And still, you stopped to save a child during your own capture." Ambassador Hillith's body glowed with hope. "We can form a resistance. Together, we might stop Frex before his ships reach Earth." As more aliens joined them, the humans realized they were no longer alone. Perhaps being Deathworlders wasn't a curse. It was exactly what the galaxy needed right now. The small resistance group moved through Nexus Station carefully, avoiding purity sphere patrols. Their numbers grew as more aliens joined them, unhappy with Frex's violent plans. "We need to reach the central communications room," Ambassador Zephlith explained. "From there, we can send warnings to all coalition worlds about the purity sphere's true intentions, and contact Earth to prepare defenses," Jack added. The group reached a large door blocked by a complex lock. The rock-like alien, who had introduced himself as Korg, examined it. "This will take hours to bypass," he rumbled. Samantha studied the lock. "Not necessarily. This uses bioelectric patterns. Lisa, remember how the medical scanner read our electrical impulses?" Lisa nodded and placed her hand on the scanner. Human nerve impulses were stronger than most alien species, overwhelming the system. The door slid open. "Your biology continues to surprise us," Zephlith said. Inside the communications center, Samantha and Alan worked quickly to establish contact with Earth. Meanwhile, Jack and Lisa helped organize the resistance fighters. "The purity sphere controls these 4 sectors," Korg explained, showing a map of the station. "Their main fleet is preparing to launch from the docking bays here. If we can reach the control room, we might be able to lock down the docking bays," suggested a 6-armed technician. "Too heavily guarded," another alien responded. "No one could get through their defenses." Jack looked at his fellow humans. "We could. We're built to survive conditions others can't." "It would be extremely dangerous," Zephlith warned. "The path to the control room is exposed to harmful radiation leaks from damaged sectors." "Radiation doesn't affect us as much as it does you," Samantha explained. "Our cells repair damage faster, and we're stronger and faster than their guards expect," Alan added. The aliens looked at each other nervously. One stepped forward, a blue-skinned being with 4 eyes. "I will go with the humans," he said. "My species has some radiation resistance." Others volunteered until they had a small strike team. Jack outlined a simple plan. The humans would lead the attack while their alien allies provided support. As they prepared to leave, Zephlith gathered everyone together. His body glowed with bright colors as he addressed them. "When the humans first arrived, many feared them because they come from a world that would kill most of us instantly. We called them Deathworlders and saw only danger. But now I see that the very traits that make humans frightening are what make them valuable allies. They are strong because they had to be. They adapt because their world demanded it. They endure because giving up meant extinction." The aliens murmured in agreement. Many looked at the humans with new respect. "Today, we face an enemy who wants to decide which species deserves to live," Zephlith continued. "The purity sphere believes strength comes from genetic perfection. Humans show us that true strength comes from facing challenges and overcoming them together." Jack stepped forward. "On Earth, we have a saying. The true test of character is what you do when no one is watching. Today, the galaxy is watching. Let's show them what different species can accomplish when we work together." The resistance members cheered. Even those who had initially feared the humans now stood proudly beside them. That night, as they made final preparations, the aliens witnessed another side of humanity. Jack sat with some of the younger aliens, sharing stories of Earth, of oceans and mountains, deserts and forests. "Your world sounds beautiful, despite its dangers," said a small furry alien. "It is," Jack replied with a smile. "That's why we'll do anything to protect it." As he spoke of home, the aliens saw that human strength wasn't just physical. These Deathworlders had something else, a deep connection to their planet and each other, a will to survive that went beyond mere biology. Tomorrow they would face the purity sphere in battle. But tonight, humans and aliens found common ground in their hope for a peaceful galaxy where all species could thrive. Morning came, and the resistance moved into action. Jack, Samantha, Alan, and Lisa led their alien allies through damaged sections of Nexus Station. Warning signs in multiple languages marked the walls. Danger, radiation zone, and toxic atmosphere. The alien team members wore heavy protective suits, but the humans needed only basic breathing masks. "Your skin should be burning from the radiation," whispered Korg as they passed through a particularly dangerous area. "We'll heal," Jack said simply. "Our cells repair radiation damage better than most species." They reached a security checkpoint guarded by Purity Sphere soldiers. Jack looked at his team and nodded. The humans moved first, faster than the guards expected. Years of living in Earth's higher gravity made them quicker and stronger in the station's artificial environment. "Deathworlders!" shouted one guard before Alan knocked him unconscious. The alarm sounded, but they were already through, racing toward the main control room. When they arrived, they found High Commander Vrex waiting with his elite guards. "I knew you would come," Vrex said, his insect mandibles clicking. "Predictable humans, always trying to be heroes." "We're not trying to be heroes," Jack replied. "We're just doing what humans do, surviving against the odds." Vrex raised his weapon. "Your survival ends today. No species should be as powerful as yours. It upsets the natural order." "You're wrong." Samantha stepped forward. "The natural order is adaptation and cooperation, not genetic purity." The guards attacked. The battle was fierce, but the humans' earthborn abilities gave them an edge. Jack's strength, Alan's speed, Lisa's precision, and Samantha's quick thinking complemented their alien allies' unique abilities. Samantha found herself cornered by two guards. Thinking quickly, she grabbed chemicals from a nearby console and mixed them together. The resulting smoke confused the guard's compound eyes, allowing her to escape. "How did you know which chemicals to combine?" Slith asked later. "I didn't," Samantha admitted. "But humans are good at improvising." The team fought their way to the main controls. Vrex stood before them, still defiant. "Why do you fight so hard for aliens who feared you just days ago?" he demanded. "They called you monsters, Deathworlders." "Because that's also what humans do," Jack said. "We protect others, even when we're afraid. We build bridges, not walls." "I don't understand you," Vrex said. "That's your problem," Lisa replied. "You see differences as threats. We see them as strengths." With a final desperate move, Vrex lunged at Jack. The two fought hand-to-hand, a contest of human adaptability versus insectoid precision. Finally, Jack pinned Vrex to the ground. "Your species makes no sense," Vrex hissed. "You come from the deadliest planet in the galaxy, yet you show mercy to your enemies." "That's humanity's greatest adaptation," Jack said. "We learned that cooperation works better than conflict. It's how we survived on Earth." With Vrex captured and the control room secured, they locked down the Purity Sphere ships and sent messages throughout the galaxy revealing the extremists' plans. Coalition forces quickly regained control of Nexus Station. 2 weeks later, the humans stood in the Grand Hall of Nexus Station as the full Coalition Council met to decide Earth's fate. The hall was packed with representatives from all 27 species. Councillor Grax spoke first. "When humans arrived, we feared them as Deathworlders. Recent events have proven that they are indeed formidable, but also compassionate, adaptable, and willing to risk themselves for others." The Council voted unanimously to invite Earth to join the Galactic Coalition as a full member. Ambassador Sithlith floated forward. "We have created a new classification for Earth. It remains a Class 12 Death World, but we now recognize that harsh conditions create not just physical strength, but strength of character." As the 4 humans accepted the official welcome, Jack looked around at the vast array of alien faces, no longer fearful, but curious and friendly. "Ready to go home and share the news?" Samantha asked. Jack smiled. "Earth is still our home, but I think the galaxy just got a lot bigger for humanity. The deadliest planet in the galaxy had produced not monsters, but explorers ready to reach for the stars. Adaptable, resilient, and most surprisingly of all kind."